Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Strawberry Hill Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Simmons, and we are here at the Shop Cigar Lounge. I say this every episode. If you have not came down here to see us, please do. We are open every day but Monday, and we got live music on the weekends, live jazz music. But yeah, enough about myself. So welcome to the Strawberry Hill Podcast. Like I say all the time, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you follow us on all the platforms. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and Michael the Mike on Facebook. So today we have one of my new friends. Yes, Miss Mary Ricketts from Downtown Shareholders and quite a bit of other things. Yes, welcome in.
Thank you.
Yes, and
thank you.
And you are a fellow sister of the Leaf, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love a good one.
Yeah. That's how we met. Came in here.
Absolutely.
Started smoking, and then kind of got to talking. And I was like, oh, she's somebody big, huh?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Welcome in. How are you?
I am good. It's been a busy day, but it's a beautiful day, and I get to chill here with you.
Mm-hmm. So, what is your job title for those people out there?
Oh, like what I get paid to do?
Yeah, because you got a lot of job
I have
titles.
a lot of things I do. Professionally, I am the president and CEO of Turning Point Training and Development, physically in Overland Park, but I live in KCK. That's what I get paid to do. That's what I get paid to do.
So let's stick there. What is that? What does that do?
So what we actually do is we come in and do a couple things for organizations, especially when it comes to leadership and their team. Everyone wants to work in a spirit of excellence. Everyone is looking to increase productivity, improve our culture, address DEI and belonging concerns. So we'll come in and we will conduct an assessment, whether it's for a full team, a full department, or sometimes the CEO, it may be one of their team members or their leadership team. And then we will create and customize a training and development program. So we prefer to come in long-term, like 6 months, 12 months. Oftentimes we'll come and just do some one-off or maybe 3 months worth of training and development. And the coaching piece and development is probably the sweet spot of that.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing that for?
Actually, we celebrate 5 years.
Oh, congratulations.
We get ready to celebrate 5 years in September, which is a beautiful month because it's my birthday month.
Oh, even better.
I know. So we celebrate, and it's exciting. It's exciting to look at the shaping of organizations, and it's good. It's good. So I love what I do.
What made you get into that role? Because it's 5 years, so that's pretty.
That'll be 5 years.
That's not too long ago. So I know you were doing something before that.
I was. I spent, we'll just say 25-ish.
25-ish
years in telecommunications. So AT&T, Sprint, Windstream, Paytech, and in that industry, I got to do a lot. I got to wear a lot of hats. I got my first promotion at the age of 23, so people can kind of guess if they want to, how old I am now.
You are what, 35?
Yeah.
My math's a little off. It's all right.
Yeah, I told someone in another workshop, I said, I'm your age times 2. She said, what? But I did. But what I saw was when I came out, it's kind of like after the last, layoff. It's like, what do I want to do when I grow up? And I actually started a different company, and I still have a few clients that I will take care of financial and insurance coaching for them. I don't write policies anymore, but I was asked to conduct a workshop. Actually, one of the first ones I did on my own outside of working for one of the big companies was actually Sporting KC.
Was it really?
I was recommended by a girlfriend that was at Central Exchange, and Sporting KC wanted someone to conduct a public speaking workshop for their sales team. I was like, let me put something together for you. And then from there, it was...
That was your first one?
That was probably one of my first ones. And it was a blast because I just love it. I love doing that. And from there, it was conducting and putting together a networking one-on-one workshop for the KCK Chamber. Sure, I'd love to. And then Webster University asked me to come and conduct that same workshop for their MBA graduates. And then Central Exchange, I'm like, okay, hold on. Then I start getting asked to coach other entrepreneurs and leaders. I'm like, okay, this has nothing to do with insurance and finances. So I had to separate the companies. And then when COVID hit, I truly just pretty much shut the other one down and just kept kept moving with Turning Point Training and
Good
Development.
for you.
Yeah.
So you definitely just started your career just over.
I did, but it was things that I already enjoyed doing. You know, I love having a microphone in my hand. So I love public speaking. I love being a keynote, and I love coming in and saying, "Oh, I can see what's going on. You all need to work on this." And sometimes it's uncomfortable. You know, peeling back the onion.
People don't like hearing, they don't like what do you call the criticism of themselves, and you know.
Especially when it comes from your team that reports to you, but they will tell an outsider everything they wish they could tell you as the leader.
Yep.
And sometimes it is uncomfortable, but it's great when you can get everyone to open up privately so that you can really construct and create a plan to really help impact and make a difference.
So that's been 5 years.
Yeah.
That's good for you. I didn't know that about you.
Yes,
I just learned that. Yeah.
Yes, it is good. I enjoy it. I do.
So, and then what is your other gigs? Because that's not the only
The non-paying gigs.
Yeah.
Currently, the 3 boards that I serve on are all in Wyandotte County, which is absolutely wonderful for me. Downtown Shareholders, I joined that board in January and then got voted in as board president at the April meeting. So I'm board president for, we call it DTS, Downtown Shareholders. And that organization really is becoming even more and more instrumental in the revitalization of downtown. We just finished some
KCK, y'all.
Yeah, downtown KCK in the dot, because we have some great opportunities coming. You know, great opportunities. When you think about the bridge project that's coming, when we think of Kansas City, Kansas Community College is coming downtown, 4th and Minnesota projects, there's a lot that's getting ready to happen in KCK, let alone World Cup is coming, you know, and what do we do to make sure our community members and businesses are ready? And it's going to be awesome. And not just focusing on our business, but there is a focus also on our residential and community members. Second board number 2, is Kansas City, Kansas Community College. I am on the trustee board.
Yeah, I was on that board too.
Yes. It is. That has a very interesting story behind it because I ran last year. I did not win.
Oh, wait, I was on the...
You're on the foundation
board. Sorry. Yeah.
And you're on the foundation board with Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools.
Yes.
I'm on that foundation board now.
I know, I was about to say.
That is ran by the fabulous Crystal Watson. Shout out for Crystal. We love
She's
Crystal.
We love her.
Yeah, she is. Oh, I forget that she is Pam. She is Pam. But the trustee board, just a really interesting, different, kind of story. But there was, I did not win. And my interesting joke was, because there were 2 Marys on the ballot, the other Mary got all my votes, you know, and sad story, the other Mary did win, and she passed away.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she passed away on their first board meeting, and it was such a sad story because they had some other deaths in their family, right around that time. It opened up the vacancy, and there were, I believe, 5 of us. We still had to apply. We still had to turn in our letter of intent and go through the interview process. And the board voted for me.
Good.
So I get to serve until 25. Then I got to run again. So we'll see. We'll see. But it's awesome to be a part of that because it's such a anchor in our community and the impact that we're able to make as a community college. And it's phenomenal, and it's awesome to see the growth of the college.
Born and raised from Wyandotte County?
Oh, original dot. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Original dot. I'm still here. I'm still here. But no, grew up on 62nd. And State Avenue, you know, which was kind of the burbs back in the day. I love sharing the story. My parents were actually the second Black family to move into Coronado Hills back in '68. Yep. Back in '68. The Lees were the first Black family. We were actually right across the street from each other. Yeah. And then I just moved about 10 blocks. I'm still in Wyandotte County. Didn't move far.
So what made you want to jump back into all the boards for that's really beneficial for Wyandotte County?
You know what? Because it's my passion. And I tell people usually anything that is pertaining to women, minorities, and Wyandotte County. I'm in. I have served on boards over the last, probably since 2013. I have served on the state of Kansas PTA board, the city board for our PTA for KCK, as well as, the schools. But there's a passion that I have for Wyandotte County. And it's, when you look at those of us that chose to stay, after, we graduated and raising our families here, you get kind of like, I just want to see us get there. And I want to see us get there before I officially retire one day.
One day. Might be 30 years.
Well, it might be. I don't know if I'll really retire. But, before those retirement years kick in, I want to leave an impact, and I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave that piece that they could say, well, let me tell you what I know Mary accomplished, or what Mary worked on, or where I had my hand, not for my accolades, but I want to leave something for the next generation to say, we don't have to start from scratch. We could pick up where this team left off and keep the ball moving. But we've got a lot to offer in the dot. And I think
there's a lot to offer.
We get a bad rap.
Untapped potential here that we just need. We need people to invest, and we need, there's a lot of stuff, but we need people to invest in the community. We need people to have their businesses here. We need people to help want to grow Wyandotte County, especially downtown. And that's where I was headed with my next question. Why is downtown such a, why are we trying to grow downtown and make it such a bigger footprint than it is now?
When you think about, and I'm not the one that says, well, let's go back and make it look like what it used to. No. But we heard the stories, from our family members and our parents on how vibrant downtown was. We kept our money in Wyandotte County, as much as possible, and many of us still do that, self-included. But when you look at the financial opportunity that we could have in the downtown community, we're missing it. We're missing it. And if we can get it to the level where we are really a profitable community in the downtown area, the first thing I think about is that sore subject for all of us. How could that help impact and lower our taxes? How could that help us circle our resources here and keep as much of our money here as possible? Which is why how you and I met, is because I'm like, we've got a cigar spot in the dot.
Yeah.
How did I not know about this? Where is it? Who runs it? Why does that name sound familiar? And then you find out, he is family. So it gives us that opportunity to cycle our dollars throughout our own community.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, like you said, try to do that at least, is keep your money in Wyandotte County. There's nothing wrong with Johnson County and Casey Mellon, but it's like, I feel like there's such a need to support local, and people love, that's one huge thing about Wyandotte County. It's like, it's almost like when you're born in Wyandotte County, you're part of a club. It's like, I don't want to exclude people because I love everybody, even if they're not from Wyandotte County, but like, if you're from Wyandotte County, it's just like, you're like, oh, you're one of us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just different.
And it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter where you go. It's funny because people know if I'm keynote speaking, especially if it's anywhere in Wyandotte County, I will usually ask, how many original dots are here? You get the shouts. And then, of course, if you are a Wyandotte Bulldog, that just makes it even better for me. But we're very proud of our community.
Yeah. I feel like we have to be, because I know Kansas City in general has a lot, like a very big civic pride in being for Kansas City, right? But I think we have to be one of the only counties, if not, there might be a little bit more, but that have our own T-shirt and logo and trademark everything of Dot Original.
We love it.
Yeah,
we love it. When I rolled off of the board at Kansas City, Kansas Community College for the foundation board. I served there for 6 years. One of the best gifts they had ever given me, my going away gift, I got like 3 original Dot T-shirts, and I wear them proudly. And because there was a time I think we shied away from it a little bit, because we didn't have the reputation that we have now, and that we're trying to rebuild and change that perspective of Wyandotte County. So I don't know. I love it. I love walking in the grocery store and seeing people of all different ages and ethnic backgrounds wearing their original Dot shirts.
Yeah.
And especially if I'm in Johnson County or KC-Mo, I'm like,
Oh, you over here.
yeah.
All right.
Who are you? Where'd you go to school? And because I think we are proud. We are extremely diverse, and I think we're extremely proud community. But now it's time for us to put our money where our mouth is.
So how do we revitalize downtown?
Oh, man.
I know that's like a loaded question. But I guess what are the efforts for DTS, downtown shareholders? What efforts are they putting forth to really revitalize or help revitalize downtown? Because I know it's like we're not trying to compete against KC-Mo. Like we're not trying to have skyscrapers and all that, but we're trying to have a bigger footprint than I know that we have right now. So how do we do that? One of
the moves that downtown shareholders just made was we became a Main Street organization, and you'd have to look it up as under Main Street America, which is the national level, and then we have Kansas Main Street. And before I got on the board, so the work was already started, they had already applied, and we were accepted into the program. And that program is really focused on downtown revitalizations. So Kansas Main Street focused on Kansas. Leavenworth has completed it, but it's a nationwide program, and it really helps bring in focus group conversation. And it's not saying that we didn't do it already under DTS's umbrella. But anyone who knows me, it's yay. I love the plan. I love the conversations and the surveys. Now what? So now it's taking all of that and implementing. It's getting all of the key stakeholders at the table and actually being consistent in how do we do this? How do we move forward? We're not a grant funding organization, so we don't have the grant dollars to do that. But what else can we do? How do we help find the grants? How could we do that? But we have some things we need to address as a community, especially in our downtown area. We have ordinances that we know can be challenging. Yes, all of that. Processes and procedures that we are working on. How do we help guide, especially our small businesses? How do we help guide them through the process? So we're partnering with organizations like the Toolbox, just mentioned Diana Watson's and the Black Mastermind Group. How do we begin to partner with our resources that we already have to at least make the process smoother until we can help address what needs to be changed? It's kind of like, I can't, replace the car today, but what could I do to rebuild it to make it last another 3 to 5 years until I can just replace it? So we have that going. We, a year or so ago, DTS also applied for us to become a historic district. So we have a historic district area within downtown. As a matter of fact, coming up in a few weeks, we will host a hybrid conversation to share with our business owners and residential community. What does that mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean? There are some tax breaks and tax advantages. So it'll all be mapped out to verify where that district is. What does that mean for you? And
so this could be a historic.
It could. Okay. It could. We'll have to look at the map.
Just inch it down here a little bit.
Exactly. But there are some that have already completed theirs, but it's going to be awesome. Here's my thing. What can we maximize? And let's help our business and residential community members get what we have available. And then that's probably the other thing is there's so much out there that we don't know. There's so many resources. Gabe mentioned something, in a conversation that we just had yesterday. I'm like, what do you mean there's $15,000 loans available at what rate? What? When? So it's how do we, because that's a challenge we have in Wyandotte County. Resources are scattered and we don't know where they are.
Yeah. And then I don't think a lot of people, like those resources that help so many people, they don't really communicate well with the other people.
Exactly.
So it's just like there's so many different resources for so many different things.
Yes.
But like you have to, it's like you almost have to know somebody to find that resource.
And you do.
Yeah.
We do. So what we want people to do is know downtown shareholders.
Yeah.
So that
that'd be great if they could just come to you.
Yes.
And then you're like, all right, this is where you need to go.
So, and if we're able to do that in the downtown area, that's going to be huge. We all know we have a lot of things going on in Western Kansas, Western Dot, but what do we have here, and how do we maximize people who want to come from the state line over, or how do we maximize though that are traveling maybe from, well, if you think about it, we have people that travel from Leavenworth, to Lee Summit,
Yeah.
to work. So how do we capture them before they go home?
That was my biggest draw of opening this place. Is like, how do I bring people not only from the dot, because you're going to have dot people who are going to support their own.
Yes.
But how do I bring people in that aren't from Wyandotte County?
Yeah.
And how do I bring them in here, and how do I keep them in here?
That, I think, goes back to how do I cycle those dollars?
Yeah.
How do I keep those dollars going throughout the community? We had a funny conversation recently. It's like, what does date night look like in Wyandotte County, let alone downtown?
And that's another thing about this place. Like, I wanted like a date night spot. Like,
yes.
Because there isn't much. Like, if you're not out west, like, where are you going to go? Because that's really the only thing. Because and that's one of my gripes about down here is like a lot of places close,
yes,
like restaurant wise, after 6 or 7 o'clock down here. So, like, if you're not going to a bar, there's really nothing else down
There's
here.
nothing else, right? Which is awesome because and I know you didn't pay me to do this, but you can pay me later. Even when we look at what you've established here at the shop, and it's like, oh, so this is somewhere you can just relax. It almost reminds me of like a little speakeasy feel to it, which to me is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And, there's a certain crowd that is drawn here. There's a certain age group that is drawn in.
Grown folk business.
Grown folks business, exactly. But there's so many pieces that are missing. We have some gaps. We have some gaps. And what Downtown Shareholders has been working on even these last 2 days is how do we really identify what the community wants? And the community, because, and if you don't know, we are an extremely diverse community.
Yeah.
I think we
are probably the most diverse community in the United States, actually.
We're in the top 30. I know we're in the top. I thought we used to be like top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But I know we're at least in the top 30 because that came up today. We're the number 1 in the state, let alone the region.
Oh, yeah, definitely the state, yeah.
But when you think about 50 plus different nationalities, races, and ethnicity, and then we think about all the different languages that we have with it. Could you imagine, because this came up, but could you imagine having a food court or a line of restaurants that represented all of our community members? Yes. Not just a little jerk chicken out there, but we have a lot. We have a lot, and thinking of those that are interested in opening up small restaurants, what would that look like for them? What if they wanted to have a food truck? How do we help support them in that process? We can't fund it, but let us walk you through the process so that you can get it done. And then how do we support you from even a marketing standpoint? How do we help start marketing our downtown businesses, even with who we have now?
Yeah. So you mentioned FIFA. Or World Cup, I should say. So what is your part in Downtown Shareholders like in that? Because I don't think they're playing over here. They're playing at Arrowhead, but still, it's all Kansas City.
It is all Kansas City, but I think we're going to have some practices.
Yeah, so even better
in the Western area. So one of the things that we are starting to work on, and matter of fact, someone just brought it up yesterday's meeting, is they're not seeing enough traction.
Yeah.
I know that we have had, a marketing expert come in that's actually originally from Wyandotte County. Shout out to Nicholas Segura and Segura Marketing, in coming in and hosting some workshops on what is that going to look like. I know that Visit KCK is working on some things. So we plan to be a part of some of those committees that they're having. But then what?
Yeah. So now we got to try to capitalize on
we have to.
that event, because that's a huge event.
It is huge.
Event.
So we mentioned, I think you and I have had a conversation about it. how do you host a watch party here?
It's never going to happen.
Listen, what he said, he's like, we're already ready. There's a screen. Screen comes down. Great. But how do we make sure that we have, do we need 10, 20 spots downtown where we can have watch parties? Yeah. And not just getting people to set up just for World Cup, set up now so that when it arrives, we're good. We have the experience, we've had the practice, and we're ready to be successful. And that includes customer service skills. Because we're going to have people here from across the globe. These just won't be local folks.
Yeah, it's worldwide.
This is World Cup. So how do we prepare our customer-facing employees? How do we handle someone that you may have a little bit of a language barrier? How do you stay calm and patient and make sure that, we're ready for that? Credit card reading machines need to be ready.
Yeah.
How do we handle that? And how do we provide them an atmosphere that they're going to be comfortable with as well?
Yeah, that's a big event, and I'm excited, and I really I'm hoping that everybody gets on board, not just downtown shareholders. Just like I hope the city's ready, because there's going to be an influx of people on both sides of the state line that I hope we're ready for, because you're talking about maximizing your dollar. And I know it's not just about just money, but if you want to benefit from the World Cup, we need to be ready. And like you said, having watch parties, just having events, or anything. Just
absolutely.
Because what's going to happen is, you're going to have thousands of people down here, and you might get a couple hundred people that are like, I love Kansas City, let me come back.
That will be awesome. And especially when we have the right restaurants, the right personal services, whatever it is, that we draw them back. But think about the attention that we could also get from those who live in the region, who are here. We traveled to St. Louis quite a bit. We have a couple of favorite cigar spots in St. Louis that we go to. We have a couple we just talked to the other day. Text them, we're coming. We're going to be down there this weekend. We'll meet you all at. And they're like, we can't wait. So it's making sure that we're ready as a community from a business standpoint, but also that our community members are ready. This is big. This is huge for us. It is huge for us. I don't know if
we've ever had something this big on the national, worldwide level.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah. And people don't realize how big of an event it is. It's like, it's just soccer. That's the number one sport in the world here.
It is.
And the World Cup is the number one watch sport.
Exactly. So exactly. So how do you start to appreciate it? We have that. And then there's the other side where I know that caution is being asked, especially from property owners, making sure that no one does anything, I don't want to say illegal, but let's just call it illegal or unethical is probably even better. Don't start evicting people because, you can charge, $5,000.
Airbnb.
Exactly. Where
that,
all of a sudden.
Fine, but do it right.
Yeah. So we have to start having those conversations to make sure that everyone does. We have to do it above board and we have to do it respectfully. And we all want to get a piece of the pie, but how do we make sure I don't get greedy with it?
So what do you think some of the biggest challenges are for downtown and downtown shareholders as we're trying to revitalize?
I think one is...
Not to call out anybody.
No, not to call out anyone. but I do believe that we have to figure out how to address our safety and cleanliness. That was, even from the surveys that we got from community members, that we need to figure out how do we address the loitering that is going on. I've had the opportunity to send in a few meetings and hear what's happening, and it's hurtful. It's a sensitive topic for a lot of people. For all of us, I think it is sensitive. Where we want to be empathetic, but we also need to come up with something that can help resolve the root cause of the issues. Because they're still our community members, we still love them, but how do we help? How do we help people? Our community members that are dealing with mental health challenges.
Yeah. So I was a police officer for 15 years. That is a big challenge because a lot of the facilities shut down around here, so you don't have a lot of places to house people, and so Yeah, that's
the transitional housing. Those days are gone.
You hit a subject with me that I'm
Or I say they're minimal.
Because I worked in the jail, I worked in the streets, I've done a lot of stuff for the sheriff's office over there, and one of the biggest issues was like over half our population in the jail had a mental health problem or they took psychotropic meds, and that was the safest place for them to be because there was nowhere else to be. But that's not where they should be.
I know. And that's where you get, now I'm trying not to cry, where it's what do we do? What do we do? Because, in many conversations that I've had with community members is we know that it will be a hard challenge to try and revitalize and build and grow and draw in developers and investors without addressing this concern and never wanting to make anyone feel like, well, we're just going to move you, put you over there.
You don't want to displace people, but you want to, at the same time, you want to find applicable housing and places for them to go, but you also want to, like you said, like we want to bring in people that want to invest their money and invest. If you want to revitalize downtown, you're going to have to spend some money. You're going to have to do some things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do we bring in the developers? How do we bring in investors? How do we create space with what we have? I love the thought of, yes, but that could be another 2 or 3 years. What can we do now? How do we draw in personal services now? How do we draw in the barber shops and the nail shops and art? We love our art. How do we bring in the art studios, the makers marks? How do we have, I call them the catering kitchens like they have in downtown in the city market area. How do we do that? How do we create spaces that we're diverse, but also diverse in age groups?
Yeah.
How do we do that? What does that look like? Commissioner Bynum actually just mentioned a task force and committee that I believe she's spearheading that says, what are the services we provide from 8 to 80? And I'm like, well, listen, I got a grandbaby that's 5 and a mama that lives with me that's 83. I can help. I've got it all. I can cover that whole spectrum. And so, hopefully I'll be able to be a part of that and represent us as DTS. Yeah.
That is, I'm hopeful to see that, especially downtown here, because we do have a bigger population of, homeless people and mental health people in this downtown area. And like you said, we just can't just say, all right, we're going to move you over there.
Because that doesn't fix the problem. That doesn't help support them with, the resources that they need. So one of the things that we actually just mentioned in a meeting is how do we bring together both resource that are within the area as well as the businesses so that we can really have those frank conversations, not just talk about it, but then be about it and really start structuring some action plans, some working plans so that our downtown businesses can share what they're dealing with as well as here are the resources. Now, how do we make that happen? We have a CEPTED that's being completed.
What is it?
CEPTED.
What's that?
CPTED, Community. Let me tell you what it is. I always forget the initials. Don't laugh. But our police department has just conducted one, and then DTS is spearheading one with MOXA. But it's where you come in and we actually look at how do we make changes in this environment so that it's safer.
Yeah.
So whether it's community policing, I'm going to find it.
I trust you.
So we do a walkthrough. There'll be a walkthrough. And say, okay, so they may tell us, well, you need better lighting right here. We need to move that dumpster from here to over there. That way you could see we have visibility.
Yeah.
And it's not that there's funding to fix the things, but are there any simple things that can be done? We know that we have some things that the UG is working on from a previous meeting, so that Lot C is safer. So there'll be some little things. And on the fun side, we're going to have our 913 day.
Yes, we are.
913 is coming up, which is going to be so much fun.
Yeah. What day? Isn't it on Friday?
September 13th.
What is it, Friday or Saturday?
I think it's a Friday.
Yeah.
I think it's a Friday.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do something a little bit for that.
Which would be cool because that'd be Friday the 13th. I think that would be so cool. So, things like that. Just speaking to someone, they're like, well, we host an Oktoberfest. I'm like, oh, we don't have an Oktoberfest. back again, what does the community want? What do our business owners want? And not just downtown, but West Side, what do they need? Because we need to draw them back to downtown as well.
Yeah. Like you were saying with all the festivals and stuff like that, like that's something that I love bringing to downtown, especially Strawberry Hill, because I like to do stuff that's out of the norm, and I like to do things that draw people in that are cool events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm all about that. Like I'm even trying, and like don't curse me licensing everything because I haven't done anything yet. But like I want to do a jazz festival down here. Oh yes. Yeah, because I do jazz in here, and I want to put it on a bigger stage because I can only hold so many people in here.
We
I want to put it outside.
Local jazz artists. I'm not going to say like Julian Vaughn is from KCK. Yeah. Just thought I'd throw that out there, Julian.
But almost everyone that plays here has some kind of Wyandotte County tie. Like I have a lot of people that are local that play here too. So
I love that. I love that
because I'm so big on local, and like I want to support local. Like even if you come in here, you see a lot of local feel. Like all the artists are from Wyandotte County, and like the pictures are from Wyandotte County. Even like I have like all these old pictures from like back in the 1920s.
I was going to say, don't say like 1980s. I was like, wait a minute now.
No. But I like I want this to be such a local tie-in place. So yeah,
Here's what I'll give you kudos for is because you've had to be intentional to find them, because we don't have a resource currently that says, here are your local
resources.
Boom, 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 boom. And unless I Google, print shop, KCK, where is that? So one of the things we're hoping for downtown shareholders is that we can become a resource stopping point.
Yeah.
Where's the local dentist? Where's the dentist's office? How many physicians do we still have here?
Yeah.
Let alone businesses, so that we can just support each other. Where's the print shop? I need to get some name tags made.
Yeah. I get people every week that come in and it's like, I didn't even know you were here. And it's like, I
found out about the shop in Missouri from someone from Missouri that said, well, you all have one in KCK. I was like, where? I was so upset. But that goes back to what can we do to better market? And someone said it best in one of the meetings this week. He said, Mary, you're not shouting loud enough. It's like, we need to shout our story louder because we have great things already. How do we shout and share that bigger and better? And
not that I don't want to seem conceited or anything, but like we were in the second biggest cigar magazine as one of the best lounges in America. And it's like, not a lot of people know about that. Yeah. And then we've only been open for a year. And so there's like, we're trying to make waves in the cigar community. And I want more people to know that, especially in Wyandotte County, that we're not just a cigar lounge. We're more than that. We're, we have live music, we do events, like we do a lot here. We're almost like a date night spot, and I wanted to always become like I want to become a destination point, not only for Wyandotte County but for Kansas City. Like once you come to Kansas City, I don't care where at in the metro, I wanted to be on that list of, if you go there, you got to go to this spot.
Yes, yeah. We've come here for date nights.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I'm in Wyandotte County too, because like a lot of business owners said yesterday in the meeting. By the way, there was a downtown shareholders meeting.
Yes,
we took,
big meeting.
Yeah, but a lot of them kind of said that too. It's just like I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Why are they coming downtown? How do we set up date nights?
But yeah, like but I like how all the other owners in there, like they wanted to invest in their community, and like there's a reason why they wanted to do in Wyandotte County, because we're trying to build it back up.
Yes,
because I think everyone wants to see Wyandotte County on the map again.
Yes.
Because, like, we were there before.
We were.
And we're getting there. Like, we're starting to, but we need, like you said, we need to.
We have
more
to.
Of a nudge. We need to shout a little bit louder. We need to get out there.
Tell our good stories. Because there are great stories. There are great stories in Wyandotte County, and we have some great businesses.
Yeah, and there's so many businesses out there that people don't even know about that are in Wyandotte County. So many. Like even we were at yesterday. Like, people were like, "Wait, you're in Winnet County, or this business in Winnet County?
Like, where are you located at?"
There's so many businesses that just kind of kept under keep because they're not shouting loud enough, or no one's shouting.
They're not shouting loud enough. And we're both business owners, and we know that I used to tease people, a couple of budgets get cut, or there's not enough in some of the budgets for our businesses to really have phenomenal marketing plans. And I love people say, well, we posted on Facebook. I was like, I tell you, I don't live on Facebook like that. So where do we find the information? Yeah. Where do I find out what's opening? So we are working on some things like, can we get a list of all of the new business licenses that are coming in the downtown footprint so that we can start posting and sharing?
It would be cool. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys already thought of this, but like having a thing like monthly saying, like you said, like new businesses that are coming in Winnet County, because a lot of times, like if it ain't Buc-ee's or something like that, like a new business pop up, and everybody like, where'd that come from?
Right.
You know, and they're like, what? Like it would be a cool thing just to see like a already momentum building for all these small businesses popping up, that so when they open, they're already having, great numbers because more people already know about them. So you can already start the buzz early on.
I think that's awesome. And I love that. One of the things that I've pitched to our team at DTS is, we have an email reach of about 2,000 now. And there's not been a plan to increase it. So imagine what's getting ready to happen. But what if we could create something that says, here's because we have a membership. Here's our new membership package that you can have. But then what if we were able to have ad space? And they're reasonable. Ad space that says, and if you want us to put your event on our calendars, here's a small fee. Yeah. Because we still have to pay someone to do it. Yeah, of course. But how do we do that so that people can say, oh, go to DTS's page and you can find out who has something coming in downtown, who's a new business that just popped up, and doing, our business spotlights. Doing our business spotlights.
Yeah, because I know, even from talking to people in here, there's a lot of people don't even know about the Rock Island Bridge that's coming. Like, I'm like, that's huge. And they're like, what is it? I'm like, man, we need to get more of this out there. I found out about the Rock Island Bridge project at the KC Downtowners, which is on the Missouri side. And I'm sitting here like, what? Where? It's going to go where? Yeah. And we know it's taken them a few years, and that's okay. And I think it's been pushed to 2025. To actually open, fine.
Get it right. Get it right. We don't want any mess ups. But in my head, I'm thinking, okay, downtown KCK, here's another opportunity we've got now, and we can't wait till 25. What's that old saying? It's tired of you talking about you're going to get ready. It's time to be ready. It's time for us to be ready.
That's a cop term.
Come on. Stop trying to get ready. It's time for you to be ready. It's time for us to be, ready, set. So that we're prepared. We have staff, wouldn't it be awesome to have more of our community members actually be able to work in our community, with good wages. People call them livable. I mean, be careful what you consider livable.
Yeah, livable for a single parent that has no kids and lives in a 1-bedroom house. Like, that's livable. Not because most people live here or live other places. They have, multiple kids, they're married, or anything like, it ain't a livable wage. Yeah.
No. But when you think about that coming, and then I think the UG just passed, or the board, school district just passed, that we will have a new library downtown.
Oh, good.
That is coming.
Wait, so, because there's a library down here already, right?
Yes. So they're not sure if they're going to, where they're going to place it. Is it going to be on the back side, the front side? They're going to, move over. Don't know. But the fact that we will be able to have that. And because in my head, I'm like, ooh, I just need some space. Went to an event Friday on the other side. And I'm like, why couldn't we have this in downtown? It was like the coolest outdoor amphitheater. Actually, my brother-in-law was playing one of the reggae bands, so I had to go. But thinking because we don't have entertainment here. You have some entertainment here.
So I'm not
By the
only
way,
one.
don't forget to come on out on Friday night. We will have 2 bands.
And Saturday.
Yeah. And it's not, and can I say something about it? Because I've been here where the music is here. It's not club. It's still your relaxed environment. You can still sit and have, your conversation. It's not club night. So let me put that out there.
No, this is a nice, relaxed place.
Relax.
You can chill.
Grown folks business.
Yeah.
Grown folks business. But this is good. So can I flip a question to you? What's next for you? What's next for you? Even with, if money wasn't an issue, what else would you do even with the shop, or what would be your next big project?
My next big project, if money wasn't an issue, is I want to expand up. So I want there to be a rooftop here and a rooftop patio, because how many patios do you think people utilize in Wyandotte County? Probably not a lot, especially downtown. Yes. There's a couple bars that have them that are nice, but what about a rooftop patio where you can see all of downtown?
We love our rooftop bars. We love a rooftop spot.
If money was an issue, that's why eventually we'll get there.
Okay.
But it's that, and I, like I said, I really want to do this Jazz Fest down here. I think that would be, if I can do something like that annually, have it down here, like, when it started to be nicer outside. It's nice now, but
like September.
Yeah. And have a Jazz Fest where it could be, because, they do it over there, but there's nothing like that here. We have our Croatian Fest and stuff like that, but we don't have like a fest where like everybody can come.
And when you think
together
about the musicians, I didn't realize I went to go see Norman Brown in concert not too long ago. He's from KCK. He wasn't he is a Bulldog.
Oh,
I just thought I'd throw that out there. I almost forgot. He is a Wyandotte High School Bulldog, just, throwing that out there. But if we think about who we already have here, let alone, our KCKCC jazz band is off the chain. But we've got some good local talent. We really. And could you imagine having a platform for that local talent to be recognized? I used to dream about, why don't we have our own Apollo? Remember Apollo back in the day? What if we had that own platform, including, the Maker's Marks, because when I think of the Jazz Festival, I think of like the old Reggae Fest that used to get put on. That was actually a family member that used to put that on every year. And I'm like, think of the vendors that we could have.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That's the other side of it.
Because I wanted to just block off this street.
Kind of like what we do for the art festival.
But not as big, but maybe eventually getting, that big, which I will say the kudos to the Third Friday Art Walk, because that is, I know there's a lot of people that help with that, but that is such a great event that happens.
That is actually put on with Downtown Shareholders is the key supporter for that. And the other piece of that spearhead is CHWC.
Yeah.
And so between the two organizations, and there are a lot of volunteers. But here's what's interesting, and this is going back to Wyandotte County, we don't have a spot for everyone to go to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it.
I didn't know about it until I had my business down here.
I didn't know about it.
What are y'all doing? I was like, where's it going?
So we are missing out on even additional revenue, and even thinking of not just the vendors that'll be there, but what about the businesses that it makes sense for them to say, no, we're open. Come on in. Come on in. I may not have a food truck, but come on in. So we were working on doing a better job of that, working on doing a better job. And if DTS can really take on that role of supporting everything that is happening in the downtown footprint, it's going to be a game changer for us.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be a game changer.
That art walk is great. Like,
it's
we need to keep
Third
that
Fridays.
Going. Yeah, Third Friday art walk. If you haven't been down here,
come down.
Get down. It's such a cool event.
And get here early.
Yeah.
So you can have a decent parking spot.
Which is, it's so cool. And I love when, I know this sounds crazy, but I love when people come in and they're like, man, took me forever to park. I'm like, good, because that means there's a lot of people down there.
It's a lot of people. Oh, it is jam-packed.
Yeah, you talk about a couple thousand people down here every Third Friday, and I hope all the other businesses down here are profiting from that, because it's such a good event.
Yeah. And I hope so, but that's probably the other piece that we're going to work on from DTS is having those conversations with the businesses. How is it financially impacting you? How much are you growing on that? But then how do we keep that ball rolling for you? What else do we do? Getting ready to do some business shout outs. It's like, oh, did you know this business was here? Here's the owner. How do we expose the great things that we have downtown? It's coming.
So you asked me a question. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Ooh.
Since I've been asking you a whole bunch of questions anyway. But this is a personal question. Ooh. What would you like to see yourself like come downtown?
Oh man. So if I think about the things that I really enjoy doing, you took care of one, which is my cigars. But I'm a wine girl, and it's like where I would love for us to have a wine bar. We have one now that has a membership. It's on the other side, but I'm like, there's no reason why we can't have that here. Entertainment, because I do love live music. I love live music. I'm not that I don't like, a little bit of the club or, not club, but like dancing. We want to dance. And to be honest, I would love to see us have theaters and be beautiful art galleries with, a restaurant inside. Yeah. One of the things we don't have downtown, we don't have those sit down nice restaurants.
That is my biggest gripe. And that goes back to I had a lot of money.
If I had a lot of money,
I would open up a nice Italian restaurant.
Oh, man.
Is open till 10, 11 o'clock.
You could do Italian. I need a good upscale Jamaican restaurant down here with some rice and peas or some Corbett Gold.
Oh, look at you.
Listen here. Listen here. Give me some oxtail, some fried cabbage, some curry. Oh, I'd be happy. Yes, almost. Even just give me a good beef patty. But we need to also look at the upscale level. I kind of mentioned earlier, this place gives me that speakeasy feel.
And so that was one of the biggest things about.
You could take our ideas. Down. There's room enough for all of us.
100%.
Take it and run.
Please do, because I don't want to spend my money. But that was one of the biggest things about coming down here that people told me. It's like, you can't bring upscale to downtown KCK. And I was like, dude, just watch me.
Watch.
Yeah.
And watch us show up.
Yeah, because people will come.
We will.
Like, it's needed. It's needed because I think a lot of people got tired of going to downtown KC Mall. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's like we needed a spot down here for something upscale.
Yeah.
And we are an upscale place, but not you don't have to be suited and booted to come in here, but we offer like a very upscale environment. And I think, like I said, it's like it was needed.
Yes.
And we need more places that are like that.
I would love a good African, a good Middle Eastern restaurant. Give me a good sushi bar. We have that goes back to how many different nationalities that we have in KCK, let alone in this region of our community, that I think would appreciate and support that. And we've seen it happen in other communities. It can happen here.
Yeah.
It can happen here. And here's my thing, and it doesn't have to be a big place.
No. It
doesn't have to be big. We're okay. We're okay with small and eclectic because that's kind of that downtown vibe. The downtown vibe. But yeah, a nice sit-down restaurant. I'd love to have a nice wine bar, and I would love to have a place where we can have entertainment. I love art.
Yeah.
I tell people I'm not real artsy fartsy, but I love to go to a great art museum and have a beverage, drinks and dinner. What could we have there? There are some things that a partner of mine and I have been chatting about that I would love if we could bring it to downtown. That one I'm gonna keep a little close. That one I'm gonna keep a little close.
You're good. I really like the idea of like a wine bar. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That's something that definitely I would get behind.
A wine bar that's a membership based.
Yeah.
Not that you have to have a membership to get in, but membership very much like you. There's a big difference. Big difference.
Because everyone thinks that we are.
You are not a membership only location.
We are not a membership lounge. We have memberships that you
there
get
you
perks.
Go, right.
You don't have to be a member to come in. I get that call almost daily.
Yeah.
Can I come in? Yes, you can come in.
Yes, yes. You have the option to purchase a membership, and here are the perks for your membership.
We are open to the public.
Yes. And doing something very similar to what we're seeing in other communities, and not trying to duplicate, because we're still going to have our own Wyandotte County vibe to it.
Of course, yeah.
It's still going to be us. It's still going to be dot. It's going to be in the dot.
Oh, I did want to say that this is coming soon. That we were talking about, like what's next for me. I'm trying to put together like a soul sessions night, because I'm listening to the music now. And I'm like, that reminds me. So it's going to be like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, where it'll be like once a month or something like that, to where I'm going to try to do local people that come in, kind of have an open mic night, but just do like kind of soul music.
Oh yeah, a little neo soul going on. Yeah.
So that's next.
And we could do a reggae night, just to throw that out there too. But that's just it. There's so many opportunities. So many opportunities.
So many opportunities, because nobody's taking steps to do it. So I'm just like, come on, y'all.
Yeah, we can do it. And even looking at bars that are a little bit more upscale, that have you don't have to have a full menu, but you got to have something for me to eat. I think we could do that. I think we could do that. Think about the sip and paint. Things that people really love doing.
Yeah, I've been hit up a couple times for doing that in here. I want to do that in here, but I don't like the fact that there's paint everywhere. No,
and as a patron, it would be different if there was a private space that they could do that. Because I'm like, y'all taking up all the seats. Yes, sip it. But even thinking of like having the sip and paint locations, where different artists can come in and rent that space. Shared space. I think we still need to work on that for small businesses, almost like that incubator location.
I know that there's a spot at the Foley building.
Yes.
They're trying to do something like that.
I saw that they had some things over there.
Like
so
they're going to do like shared space kind of deal. So we'll see about that. I got a couple more questions before we end it.
Oh, yes.
So first question, how did you get into cigars?
Oh, my goodness. So,
because like you just don't smoke cigars. You know your cigars.
I do. I know my cigar. Yeah. So it's very much like my golfing. When I started, so it's really kind of a funny haha story, but the person I'm dating smokes cigars, and okay, let me take it back. My neighbor growing up, Mr. George, smoked cigars. And back in the day, we didn't.
Shout out to Mr. George.
Come on, Mr. George, Mr. Leon, Mr. George would smoke cigars, and before we had air conditioning, the windows would be up, and I'd be like, oh, Mr. George is outside smoking a cigar. It would just smell so good. And I always thought, oh my God, that is the best thing in the world. And then, he was a pipe guy. And I just thought, oh my God, I love this. So when my person like smoked cigars, I was like, I have always wanted to try. Now, of course, if you don't know, now you will. You do not inhale.
No.
It is not a cigarette.
Yeah. I have to tell people that all the time.
It is not
that are getting
a
into
cigarette.
Do not inhale.
Yeah, and I started off very, very small. Simple, the sweet, and then then one of my other girlfriends that I hang with, she's a cigar girl, and the thing is, I think I love it because it still has this very classiness to it, and it's funny because sometimes I'll come in here by myself, and it's also the social environment that comes with, the cigar spots, that it's a social spot. But yes, I know my cigars. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And yeah, because usually when I walk in, especially if we're out of town, it's funny because I'm like, oh, I got to go get me a couple sticks. We know the rule. If you don't know cigar etiquette.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to help you. I'm going to do this one for you.
I even posted the rules up
I know.
there,
you had to post the rules. Cigar, but if you don't know, you don't know. So I learned whenever you walk into a cigar spot, especially when it's free to get in, because you don't have to pay to come in, courtesy is you buy a stick or two.
Listen to her.
Always buy. I try and buy 2 sticks. I try and buy 2 sticks. Even if my case is full, And yes, I have a cute little girly pink cigar case. I have a nice little small humidor at my house. You purchase a couple sticks because that's your way of supporting. That's your way of supporting where you are.
Yeah.
And then it's you just have to try them. You just have to try them. But yeah, I have like my faves. You know, I've grown up I don't care for the real sweet anymore. I like a good bold. You know,
Yeah, graduated.
I've graduated. I have grown up. I have grown up. Yeah,
I'm
love
glad
it.
you mentioned the etiquette because I have to tell people that, not often, but just sometimes, like, hey, I don't mind if you come in here and smoke, but it's just like I can't keep the lights on here,
Right.
Like, because you don't go into a restaurant and bring your own food, like it.
What?
Yeah, I know. And it's just like I don't mind if you do, come in here and bring your own smokes, but it's just like at least try to patronize. And
Yes,
do
you have
something.
to.
It's just like
You
'cause
have to.
I have to pay the bills here.
And you know what's funny, because I think about there's a spot. I'm not gonna say where because everybody don't know it, but I've seen cover charges for some of the clubs that were 25, 35, 50. I said, for what? I didn't even get anything yet.
Yeah, you don't get nothing. Yeah.
I don't get anything yet. So even thinking of that same concept of you just patronize, and I'm not saying you got to buy $50 cigars.
No,
Most of my cigars are like between 10 and 15.
Yep.
Not that I don't have any of the others. There's a few, and we save those for a special moment. Maybe graduation or something. But I enjoy it. I've gotten to the point to where even when we golf, I have a cigar ashtray that I've bought us so that when we're in the car, we're not flecking ashes everywhere. I like my cute, pics. So it's a whole shindig when I do it. I love it. Enjoy it.
So
Okay.
last question.
All right.
So where do you see yourself or downtown shareholders in the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh man, honestly, I think downtown shareholders can be the biggest influence with the community for downtown. Probably even more so with a big business focus, but also looking at us being. I think that's probably the best way. I think we need to be the biggest influence of who's coming to downtown, because we have to be the voice of our downtown community, which includes our residential and business, to where if someone's coming, it's like, no, that's not what we asked for. This is not what our community has asked for, not just DTS, but our community says we want to see A, B, C, and D. Can you help us make that happen? No, next. Who can help us do this and accomplish this? But I see us as the go-to. I see us as the go-to. You come to DTS before you want to do anything else. You reach out to downtown shareholders if you have a question about where do I go, what's next. I see us having a wonderful partnership with our KCK Chamber, with the Hispanic Chamber, the Heartland Black Chamber, our Asian Chamber. I see us partnering with all of our chambers to say, what's going on? Y'all need to come talk to us. And how do you all help support our businesses in this area? And then absolutely working with Visit KCK, our economic development. I think we will play a much bigger role, and I think we will have a seat at all of the tables.
I would like to see you guys become the hub of all resources for downtown.
Yes.
If you need something, go to you.
Call DTS. What's going on? You got an issue? Don't call us yet. No, we're working on it. because we are really having to build that infrastructure for DTS. You were in the meeting where, one of the business owners said, my property tax went from this to this, like, whoa. And then to find out there were things that could have happened prior to that could have stabilized that. Okay, well, how do we do a better job of making sure before you come to downtown, kind of like your home association, connect with them so that they can let you know if there's anything you're missing so that you can be successful. Because what we don't want is for downtown to look like it is right now, 5-10 years from now. We need to be on it with businesses like yours that say, oh, no, we've been here for 10 years. Like, yes. And be a staple in the community.
Love it.
Yeah. That's where I see us.
Yes. Well, Miss Mary, thank you
Yes,
for coming on.
thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
It's
having
always a
me.
pleasure, and I always love it when you come in.
I love it.
We like chatting and sitting down and
I love it.
bouncing ideas off each other. And
Listen, if you haven't done it, get here. I'm going to give you a shout out.
appreciate that.
I got to do that. If you are looking for a spot, ladies, if you are by yourself, bring your girls, because I know we got some cigar ladies out there. You can wear your stilettos or wear your sandals, wear your tennis shoes, but come in. The environment is awesome. When you come in, even if you see a bunch of the guys here, the men, that's what I wanted to compliment on. The men,
they're not thirsty.
my goodness, I like how you put that. The men are pure gentlemen.
Yeah. I like to.
Pure gentlemen in here.
I'm picky on who joins and who stays.
Yeah.
So I want this to be a safe environment for everybody.
For everyone.
And I
Even
want them to be
classmates that I've
fun.
run into.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in 40 years.
Yeah,
30,
I want it
20,
to be
something
a
like that.
fun environment too.
Yes.
Because I don't want females and other people to come in that they feel uncomfortable because they're people are being crazy with them or stupid with them. No, like we nip that in the butt real quick if it happens.
I love it. I have come here, and depending on what I'm doing, because sometimes I come in, you see, out tablet, earbuds in, I'm studying, and I'll come in and do my round to speak to everyone, and I'm sitting, what are you doing? I got to study.
Yeah, gotta work.
And you won't be bothered. You won't be bothered. If you want to be in conversations, you can. And the conversations are good. Conversations are good. But it's a great little spot. I want to say thank you for investing
Of course.
in the dot.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
That's me. I have a family of entrepreneurs and we're all on the dot. So
Don't you love it?
yeah, I love it.
I love it.
It's tough, but I love it.
We're going to hang in there.
Yeah, we're going to hang in
We're
there.
going to hang in there.
Well, I thank you again.
Absolutely. I
and
appreciate it.
shout out to Downtown Shareholders
Thank
and
you.
all the other boards you're on.
Thank you.
And I do believe that you guys are making a difference. We're going to get there.
We are.
I know we are.
We are. We have a great board. Our executive director, she's working hard. She's working hard. Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy
she's
Francis
on.
Ramirez.
I saw her down in the art walk. She was moving and grooving.
She is.
I was like, Tommy, do you want a drink? Like you need. She was like, I'm gonna need one after this.
We are. Yeah. And as the community comes together and we start supporting, we're going to have committees that we're going to need people to step up and see. It's kind of like it's time to put our money where our mouth is, and let's make it happen for all of us. We'll do it.
Oh, yeah, we are. We'll get there. We're gonna put Wyandotte County on the map once again. Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. It has always been a pleasure, and it's always fun. And like I said, I had a really good time talking to you. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Mike.
And so you guys got to check us out next time, and I appreciate you guys listening. We're out.
Goodbye, everybody.